Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So I was online performing my usual routine in the morning, was on Cointelegraph, and I saw this article. The Chinese survey finds nearly 40% of respondents would invest in crypto. Then I went to CCN and saw this article. 63% of Chinese respondents think Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are unnecessary. So a great example of glass half full, glass half empty. This article was based on the same research. However, CCN decided to cover it one way, and Cointelegraph obviously decided to cover it another way. It's just interesting. I'm just pointing something out that I found kind of interesting. Then I went to Twitter, and Jungle Inc. If you do not know who Jungle Inc. is, have you been living under a rock? Jungle Inc. has a YouTube channel, obviously. He posted this, though, on Twitter. Wow, that is a super bullish thing to say. I'm going to have to guess Sam I Am or maybe Alex Cobb. And it was this tweet here from Scuderia Crypto. I think that's it. Let's play a game. Who wrote this incredibly bullish paragraph about XRP? And the paragraph says, suffice it to say, that the demand for XRP can easily eke into the trillions, even quadrillions, which divided by 5 billion is many thousands of dollars per XRP. And we found out later that it was written by Galgatron. And this is talking about, I believe this is referencing Swift's business. We know Brad Garlinghouse has publicly stated that they are gunning for Swift's business down the road in the future. And it just kind of reminded me about XRP and cryptocurrencies in general for that matter, but mostly XRP, and that it is a long hodl. And not only that, guys, it's smart money. It's not fast money, it's smart money. It could be fast money if we do see a cryptocurrency spec bull run. Based on nothing, based on FOMO, based on some kind of world event that's maybe triggering a bunch of people in one country to dump their money into Bitcoin, in which case we could see the cryptocurrency market boom again. Kind of like when the Arab Spring began in 2013, we saw a cryptocurrency bull run. But ultimately, we're holding XRP as a long-term investment, a long hodl. And I just wanted to bring up an example here. I love using Apple as an example because Apple is a great company where for decades it was pretty much eating Microsoft's dust. And then they finally saw their success later on down the road. But I just like to point this out here. So this is Apple here on a weekly chart. And guys, Apple, if you don't know, in the 80s and 90s, they struggled to kind of, make their mark. I mean, they had some successes, but ultimately, Microsoft was the company. Microsoft was the one to follow. And I just wanted to bring this up here. So if you bought Apple stock in January 1984, now 1984 was a very important year for Apple. The Macintosh was introduced by a $1.5 million Ridley Scott television commercial in 1984, most notably aired during the third quarter of the Super Bowl on January 22nd, 1984. And you guys can look up that commercial if you wish. But at that time, Microsoft shares, sorry, I keep saying Microsoft, what I mean is Apple. Apple shares were going for 50 cents. 50 cents a share in January 1984. So let's say you had $1,000, you bought 50, you bought some shares at 50 cents. So now you have 2,000 shares of Apple, okay, in 1984, right around here. Now, of course, there were some ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. And again, guys, let me remind you, this is Apple on a weekly. And so we saw ups and downs. Apple had saw a spike here around 1991. The economy was recovering. So we did see an approximate high of $2.62 in 1991 for Apple shares. Now, 1991, that would have been 7 years after you had bought them, and you would have seen $2.62. So, maybe after 7 years, you're thinking to yourself, well, I've been holding this stock for 7 years, and, maybe I should just sell my shares. Well, had you sold your shares, you would have made $5,240 total, so about $4,240 profit once you take away your principal of $1,000. Not bad, but not great. Sure, better than a bank, but still not great profit. And guys, we see this in the XRP charts, right? I don't have the XRP chart up here right now, but I think we'll eventually see highs of $2, $3, $4, $5. You might want to take some profits out at that point, but guys, here's the real deal. But guys, let me finish what I was about to tell you here. So then, of course, the internet comes into play, and we saw the dot-com boom of the late 90s, early 2000s, right around here. Again, guys, Apple on a weekly. So each one of these candlesticks, I just wanted to kind of zoom out so you could kind of see the whole perspective, but each one of these candlesticks represents 1 week. And so, you know, maybe you kept holding, maybe you kept some of your shares because you felt it was a good idea. And then the dot-com boom hit. And right around here, I'm not going to take the ultimate all-time high of Apple's share, but let's say in... oh, wait, let me go back and do something else first. Sorry about that, guys. I completely got sidetracked here. So let's just go back to the idea that you could have sold your shares in 1991. And then let me show you this first. So then the market kind of got depressed again. And in January 1998, okay, so 14 years after, we saw an Apple share price of 70 cents again. So that's almost break even. And so that's 14 years after you would have originally bought your shares. And so maybe you're thinking to yourself at this point in time, oh geez, wow, I should have sold up here at the high of $2.45 roughly. Why did I wait? Now the market's depressed. Because let's not forget, guys, you're not seeing this stuff yet, okay? You can't see this. All you see is, oh, you know, market was up, now it's down. So it'd be nice to have a blockade here so you can't see this. So this is all you can see on the chart, right? Market was up, now it's down. And sure enough, in January 1998, we only saw a high of about 70 cents, and that's almost break even. So should you sell? Well, you know what? Maybe you didn't sell and you waited for the dot-com boom, which did happen eventually. And you thought to yourself, amazing. Okay, now Apple is at dot-com boom. In the year 2000, it was fetching a price of about $5.25. So if you multiply your 2,000 shares by 525, now you have $10,500. That's $9,500 profit over 16 years. Not bad, but not great. Now let's remember, you have been waiting for 16 years. And so maybe you think, you know what, like now my life has changed. I have kids. I need the money to pay for their college. I need to buy a new house. My wife needs a new car. I don't know. Your life has changed. And so, you know, you bail. You're happy with your $9,000 profit. And maybe you're even happy because after that dot-com bubble, things got a little hairy and the market crashed again. And you thought, well, thank goodness I got out of my Apple. Now they're only trading at $1. I got $5 for them. And you know what? I'm scared of the stock market. I don't want to get back in because, well, look at that dot-com bubble. It was a bubble. And of course, the stock market will never recover. Right. But do you remember that invention called the iPod? And when Steve Jobs got on that stage and introduced the iPod, and Apple stock just seemed to never look back. Here is Apple stock, guys, again on the weekly through 2003, 4, 5, 2006, 2007 making new highs, 2008 making new highs. Of course, there was a stock market crash here. The entire market crashed. But then again, guys, over the last decade, 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13. Another correction, 2012, 2013, but then still making new highs. And guys, we are looking into a period right now where, yes, the NASDAQ is crashing, but we made all-time highs back here of about $230 per share. And if I'm not mistaken, Apple shares had even split, so it would have been even more. Even if they split 2-to-1, this 2,000 shares would have now been 4,000 shares, but I think they split maybe a couple of times. If somebody can tell me in the comments to clarify, that would be amazing. But guys, it just goes back to my point of holding long. Think of where the smart money is. In this case, Apple was a company with some foresight. They invented some revolutionary technology. So just think about Ripple. Think about the technology that Ripple is creating. Think about the fact that they have chosen the XRP digital asset in order to fulfill their mandate. Think about Brad Garlinghouse talking about taking Swift's business. Think about all the opportunities that there are out there, and think about how old you are, and think about how much you have invested in XRP. Now, guys, I'm not a financial advisor, so please do not take this as financial advice. But I always like to ask myself this: am I willing to wait 5 years? Because I don't think it'll take 16 years for Ripple to accomplish this. Am I willing to wait 5 years to be a filthy, filthy effing rich person? I think I am. I know I'm going to take my profits as they come slowly, but I am not going to relinquish my entire position for several years. That's where the smart money's at, guys, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.